Okay, my people. Good morning from New York, New York. The Big Apple. Another second empire after the Benin Empire. The two second empire we have in the world. You are welcome, my people of EGUARE and EWOHIMI community development worldwide or in the diaspora. Yes, I just want to quickly say, after the meeting that was hosted by our community, EGUARE EWOHIMI community worldwide, after the meeting that was hosted on the 9th of August 2020, a number of people were not actually present. And they were not present. And a lot were present, to be sincere or putting things in perspective. Now, my video is pretty much about that. It's about the summary of that very meeting that was held August 9, 2020. That is of E.E.C.D.W. Convergence with the hosting of His Royal Highness Lord Peter Ousifu, the Onoje of EWOHIMI. So, I figure I brought to those that were there that day who probably could not get a comprehensive psychological intake of what was discussed that day, and to them who were absent as a result of some circumstances that was beyond their control. So on behalf of the E.E.C.D.W, EGUARE EWOHIMI Development Worldwide, President Odion Ukpebo E.E.C.D.W, a Bostonian based, and the entire people of EGUARE or the EGUARians. So I'm seizing this apple golden opportunity to bring to the audience in this forum the summary of the Zoom video that was held that day. Now, to those that were actively present, little we will be relating here to you at this juncture. But to them who were unfortunate to be absent because of some circumstances that was beyond their control, here is the de facto or reality of what organically went down in summation that day. I hope you comprehensively enjoy it at this time. This is a copy of it. You will hear from me as I goes in details in bringing to bear what was discussed that day. Thank you. Now, before the inboard of His Royal Highness Lord Peter Ousifu, the Onoje of EWOHIMI, the forum open prayer was led by Mr. or Eda Jackson Akpasubi of California-based United States of America. Upon the successful assessment of the Zoom video conference platform by His Royal Highness, he honorably led the prayer in the forum with keen, exuberant enthusiasm, more than excited to witness such a tsunami conference ever held in the historical, contextual, communal conference in the history of EGUARE community in the diaspora. Holified and anointingly pray for us all. Those that were present that day and then that were absent as well. He prayed for each and every one of us. And pray the land of EWOHIMI continue to yield the best that nature on a humanitarian basis has to offer. Immediately after the introduction of everyone on an individual basis, because we seize that time. First of all, let me say this very quick. We blessed our humble elder brother, Sonny Inyanobo, who hosted us that day with an eager patient. Hosted us for hours. We were there for about 4 to 5 hours, if I'm not mistaken. 4 to 5 hours. And he was patient. He organized that video, hosted that video smoothly without any hindrance of any sort. So I'm using this opportunity again too to thank our elder brother, Sonny Inyanobo. Sonny Inyanobo, thank you very much. We really do appreciate you that day. We appreciate you that day. So immediately after the prayer, what followed was the introduction of everyone individually. Like I said, everybody introduced themselves all over the world. People that are acting that day. People from Netherlands, people from Ireland, people from Italy, people from United States, people from UK, United Kingdom. They all introduced themselves. And it was marvelous. You could see the excitement in the eyes or in the face of everyone. They were all excited. So, amazingly, the Onoje recognized or recalled later majority of the people that were present in the forum. It was amazing. In short, everybody was flabbergasted that, wow, this guy has such a sharp retentive memory. It was unbelievable. Myself, I was carried away. I was so excited. So afterward, the president of the forum, the president of our organization, in the name of Elder Odion Ukwebo, ESQ, Bostonian based, United States of America, gives the audience an elaborative enlightenment, eloquent text of the germane reasons behind the establishment of the organization. I meant EGUARE community worldwide. For the sake of time here on this my video, I will humbly recommend the general website, which is www.E.E.C.D.W.com for further in-depth understandings of what this platform or organization is all heartily about. So I recommend, some of you hack into that website so that you can get an in-depth or more details about the reason behind the establishment of this organization, so that you can have a grip of it. And because a number of people are still kind of like lacking behind in comprehensively getting the reason why the organization was established. And in so doing, when you get on the website, you'll be able to read through the constitution or the manifesto of this organization, and you will be able to grasp, what the organization is all about. Following immediately without further ado was the general question and answer as Q&A directed towards His Royal Highness, which he incredibly, succinctly reciprocated in Solomonic wisdom of some sort. Listing of the general question bristoled based on the developmental upheaval bedeviling the EGUARE community as follows. The roads infrastructure upheaval that has become a sinakuno or nemesis of Herculean eyes saw. I'm going to be touching on the listings. The roads infrastructure was discussed. The reason why our people are still pretty much in some kind of like primordial or primitive age with the road infrastructure in our area, despite the intellectual developed mindset of our people. But this infrastructure has become an eyesore. So such was directed to the Onojo of EWOHIMI, His Royal Highness, Lord Peter Ousifo II. So the road issue was discussed with him. He discussed this in details. The reason behind we lacking. One of the issue he actually dissected was issue of communal unity among us. Lack of communal unity among us, among the EGUARE community. And he actually said he was so enthused that such a meeting could be hosted in that manner. You can see the enthusiasm in his face. So, after the road issue was discussed, we were able to come to a grip with it, and it's something we are looking forward to relating with any upcoming governor. Although, like he said, on a number of occasions, the issue was discussed with the Onojo of was discussed with the governor of Edo State. Although, in the course of 8 years of the then governor Oshomole, a deaf ear or attention was paid to the road issue. He promised, and fruitlessly, his tenure comes to an end. Nothing was done. So now we are trying to work towards a situation where our people will not be taken for granted no more. So issue of that road was, really discussed. So if you have any question as per what was discussed, besides what I just summarized, we recommend you contact the president of this organization, Eda Odion Ukwebo, ESQ. Now, another issue that was discussed was issue of water project. The water project issue was dissected. And here we discuss issue why the water board that was built way back in the late 60s or early 70s, why it becomes an abandoned project. Issue was discussed that I wasn't even inundated with. Issue was discussed, and His Royal Highness was able to brief us as to the reason why till date our people are still yet to have a decent pipe of water. Rather, they still faced with this calamitous, a pipe-borne water issue of a thing. Now everywhere you now have a kind of like bowl and all that stuff that is not even fit for human consumption. But, nonetheless, with this establishment of this organization, and we are looking forward to making sure sooner than later all these social amenities will be provided for our people. And this is the issue at hand. So that was how this water issue was discussed. How pipe was laid, as he said. Pipe was laid from the Odu River to the other water project that is located opposite the library in EGUARE community. So such issue was discussed in details. And we are just right now, like His Royal Highness said, we will do our possible best in working with them and making sure such a project, is brought to bear, and our people will be able to actually enjoy those social amenities that, majority of us enjoyed growing up, that has now become some kind of like a history, a Babylonian history to be precise. That when you tell people, our people, the younger generation, they find it difficult to believe, not knowing that this was really a fact that was on the ground. And such issue was discussed in details. And another issue again too that was discussed was our enviable then, newly built and abandoned post office. And history that day were taught that this post office issue was actually the second, the third build a post office in the whole Edo state. They have one in Aunchi, as we were made to understand. One was built in Aunchi, another was built in EWOHIMI. That's the one that we have in our area there. And one was built in Edo Central. Is it Edo Central? No, Edo South or Edo local government area. So these were the major post office that was built there. And today, it was not what they call launched. For some reason, we don't know. We don't want to be, political with it. We discuss that issue in depth. So these are issues again too we are looking up to taking over, so that at the end of the day, that post office will be, now it will be renovated or rehabilitated so that it will be put into use. And we discussed that in details, an issue of post office. So if you do have any question as you are listening now, jot something down so that at the end of the day, or when we have our next second meeting, which is October, second Sunday of October, it will be held again, and we will be bringing each and every one of you a reminder of such a follow-up. So such was discussed. Another issue again too that was discussed was maternity issue, rehabilitation or renovation of our maternity in EGUARE EWOHIMI, located in the main or epicenter of EGUARE EWOHIMI. Issue was discussed in depth. So we discussed it. The Onoji of EWOHIMI, His Royal Highness, Lord Peter Usifo II was able to give us more details again to that. The maternity is still functionary. It's still functionary. We cannot afford to actually abandon it, like he said. And a number of people, they raised that issue. The Honor Swegbe was given a golden opportunity to actually elaborate on this. He actually was detailing everything with some fascinating Solomonic wisdom. He details everything. Everybody now come like, wow, we were, he was wowing us with all this traditional kind of like, academians of some sort. So such issue was discussed, and we are looking forward to, furnishing that, what they call the maternity issue, or where, our women, they find it very conducive. It's an area where majority of us were giving birth to. So we discuss it in details, and it's something that we said we are looking forward to putting some resources into, and then we see some the government of Edo State to do more for our people. So another issue again too that we discussed was the issue of customary court. We look into the issue of customary court as a result of the whole backward, underdevelopment that is going on. We asked His Royal Highness. He threw a lot of light on that as well, that is still working, and more need to be due to like upgrade the customary court, and we are looking forward to working with the governor of Edo State. But right now, I think the political upheavals that is a kind of like causing a lot of stuff right now. It's really kind of like hibernating us. I mean, this EGUARE community development or in the diaspora is something again we are looking up to. I mean, looking towards after the election and so to do something, and we will do. I mean, we are saying the president is actually saying that we will do our possible best to make sure that all these amenities, all the social amenities are up and running. And some question was asked by some of our guys or audience who are kind of like a neophyte about the policy or the importance of these amenities like customary court. Issue was thrown by some people that all these are elephant project, and at the end of the day, some of those our folks were able to be briefed in some kind of like social brief eloquent, in answers or in reciprocation as to why such social amenities are needed in our community. Besides the fact that this becomes some kind of like mejoon in our people, but it is still a kind of like it's a kind of like vital to the functioning of our own society. Such issues were discussed in details. Another one that follows was the OPC, the EWOHIMI Oil Pan Company, His Royal Highness, was able to give us a lot of details, because people were having the misconception that EWOHIMI community, or I mean the OPC, although it was located in that very area, yes, that we have a rather hands as to the land where that stuff was located. It was brought to us that day by the Onoje or His Royal Highness that very OPC was a kind of like a leased to Aneni, Chief Aneni, the late Chief Aneni of Uromi. And we discovered that that OPC was actually a property of Delta State government. But we are looking forward, like they discussed that day, a lot of issue was brainstormed through to, was thrown to the His Royal Highness, and then we come to the conclusion that issue like seeking royalties, if that led to the bankruptcy of that OPC, that EWOHIMI community or the EGUARE community, specifically, excuse my language, the EGUARE community will take over along the line, is something we are pursuing, going by our discussion that day, because it cannot be sited in that very area where people are enjoying the remuneration, the social, economic remuneration, but our people are, languishing or facing some kind of like social, political sorrow or lamentation. So we are looking forward to acquiring that OPC along the line in a short possible time. So such issue was discussed, but we are still looking forward to popping this issue so that we can finally consolidate it and see where we go from there. Now that we have this, social, political synergy that our people are working with. So, like I said, if any of us actually still want to know about no more about the reason why this organization was established, I recommend you guys, visit our website. Our website is www.EECDW.com. www.EECDW.com. If you check it out on Google, you will see the manifesto, the constitution of the manifesto as to where we are taking this organization to. So, another issue that was discussed again, or that was brought before His Royal Highness, was issue of transformer. The transformer issue that we were told was bought by our own community, the E.E.C.D.W, EWOHIMI community, that was brought to that very area, and for some reason it was hijacked by some Judah Iscariot politician that was working with Governor Oshomole at a time, that at the end of the day, it was not really questioned because we didn't have some people with that political testicular fortitude to actually question these people that were behind the stealing away of such a transformer that was a kind of like, supplied to the people. Like today, we can still see a lot of our people are still dwelling in the darkness or in the doldrum of social-political darkness. So these we look into that day, and we are looking forward for an in-depth solution to question these people and bring them to bear or to face the legal system in Nigeria, especially in the EGUARE EWOHIMI or EWOHIMI as a whole. But don't forget that this is EGUARE EWOHIMI community, because we were beaten up because of this transformer, that today our people are still in darkness. So we are looking forward to bring some legal lawsuit and bringing these people to bear as to the reason why such equipment that was provided by the government and our own people in the diaspora was stolen by some few individuals who does not have an iota of contribution to such a contribution that was made to brought those transformers to EGUARE EWOHIMI. Until today, our people are still living in darkness. So another one again too that was brought up was Piggin Baptist Grammar School EWOHIMI. Some people actually was not comfortable with that because, like I said, some were insinuating or alleging, because of their little knowledge about what was going on with Piggin Baptist Grammar School. People were like, well, no, we're talking about all these projects, because they are really not of direct benefit to EGUARE EWOHIMI. But then we have our humble elders, the grand patron of this organization, somebody of Elder E.E.C.D.W of United Kingdom based, who was able to give us a breakdown, an in-depth enlightenment as to the importance or the vitality as to why we should pursue this with all social, political, or economic vigors. Now he said something. He said the reason why this tsunami enviable project of such like Piggin Baptist Grammar School, customary call, maternity, and what have you. The reason why we have to pursue it is because some of those people that was working with Adam Oshomole were not from EGUARE EWOHIMI. As a result, some of them, they found it suitable that anything that is being put in place in EGUARE EWOHIMI, that it cannot like become the epicenter of the development of EWOHIMI, these things were being shoveled up, were being stolen away. So as a result, we have every temerity, every audacity in our disposal to pursue it. So this is where it became vital that our people has to pursue this thing, to make sure that all these tsunami projects are functioning, rather than leaving it in some kind of like social, dystopias, So that was fully discussed with other stuff. So now another issue again too that we discussed was issue of EGUARE, EWOHIMI library that is located in the epicenter of EGUARE EWOHIMI as well. Such issue was discussed, and His Royal Highness was able to give us a little details of that or summary of that yeah, it's still functioning. The only thing we needed there is we need some computer and some books and what have you. And it's something at the end of the day we said we will look into within the possible future or in posterity. In posterity, we are looking at few months down the road that something needs to be done in that place, so that most of us that will be visiting home, we can have a library where we can kind of like be doing some research. So we come to a conclusion that the EWOHIMI, the library located in EGUARE, EWOHIMI, is a very vital project that ought to be pursued because we know it's a EWOHIMI Library of Congress, but more need to be done to bring succor to the vitality of it so that anytime we are home, we can feel at home. We want what is enjoyed in places like UK, what they call United States of America, places like Netherlands, places like Ireland, Austria, all this Western society. We want what is enjoying in that very place to be centered in EWOHIMI there, because now you can see the underground development that is going on in EWOHIMI. People that a kind of like used to right off what is going on in EWOHIMI. When you go to EWOHIMI, EWOHIMI is wearing a new look. It's putting out a new look or garment of development. You see a lot of hotels now popping up because it used to be only one hotel we have in EWOHIMI there as Bouvet Hotel along the road right there. But now when you go now to those areas, we have so many hotels now that are a kind of like actually competing with the Western hotel models. So my people, such issue was discussed in details. And then other issue, we report the communities and stuff like that. And so the meeting was adjourned after all the questions and stuff that was a kind of like handled by His Royal Highness. And we were all pretty much pleased about it. And we were very much pleased about it. And the Onoje, like I said, from when the meeting was commenced until his exit or departure from that Zoom video, you can see the excitement on each and every one of us face. We were carried away with a lot of excitement. Unfortunately, to those of you that was not present that day, we're looking forward again to having more excited, more exciting, elaborate meeting in the next meeting, which is, like I said, coming up in the the second week of October next month. So we are looking forward, September, we are looking forward to enjoying all this with you guys again. So that was what was discussed with His Royal Highness and what have you. And we told him we would be giving him a feedback as to the update of what is being, what we'll be handling from day to day. So that was it. So after that, what follows again to after the departure of His Royal Highness was our internal meetings. Was our internal meeting. The normal general meeting was what was followed after the departure of the Onoje. He gave us he prayed for each and every one of us that was on the forum, and those of us again too that was not. After which he hesitated. So it was fascinating. It was fascinating. So that being said, that was the issue we had, the general issue that we had with the Onoje of EWOHIMI. And again, like I said, it was wonderful. Thank you all. I will come back again too and share what we had after His Royal Highness departure. Thank you very much.